Hello, good morning. Welcome to Sheleads in Tech. And today I'm pleased to introduce our guest speaker, all the way from Nigeria. Adesola Mulero is joining us today. Adesola is a telecommunications and data analyst with Nine Mobile in Nigeria, and we will be discussing the topic on career planning today. Welcome, Adesola. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you too, Lydia. Thanks for having me on this
No
on
worries.
this platform.
It's such a great pleasure. So, will you kick us off by telling us about yourself and how your career has progressed to date?
Okay, so um, I've been in the telecommunication industry for ever since I started my career. I have a bachelor's degree in from the University of Technology here in Nigeria in physics electronics, and that's where we actually met.
Yes.
And I have a postgraduate degree from the University of Texas, um, Houston. That's data science and business analysis. And my career, um, so far, my career journey, I started in the IT education um, for just 1 year. I was there as a faculty, and also that was when I did my certifications in just one in the CCNA. And just after 1 year, I progressed to the telecom industry. I joined the Alcatel Lucent as BSS engineer. And from there, I have progressed. I moved to the from the front office to the back office, BSS configuration, and also from there, I moved to the network performance analysis section, and from there, I progressed to the network optimization. And presently, I have moved from Alcatel Lucent. No, Nokia acquired Alcatel Lucent, so I started working with Nokia. Then from Nokia, now I presently work with Nine Mobile, one of the telecommunication company here in Nigeria. So I joined them last year, just a year plus with Nine Mobile, and I work with one of the department there. That's network quality assurance, network performance, and quality assurance. So that's how far I've moved in telecom.
So
And
that's good. It's a really interesting progression you have, and one that resonates really loudly with me because we share the same background. We went to university together in Nigeria, and we've taken that similar journey to progress through the telecommunications industry to the current points in our career. So it's very lovely to hear you recap on that. So today's discussion really is just to help us gain an understanding of the career planning, thinking, thoughts, actions, execution that has gone into you getting to this point of your career today. So to kick us off, I wanted to start by asking the question, what is career planning and why is it important?
so I would say career planning, we have we've had different people define what career planning is, but I will just pick some definitions that will help us to like really hit the point here. I would say career planning is a process of systematically matching career goals and individual capabilities with opportunities for their fulfillment. In your career planning, it is important that you consider your strengths. That is individual capabilities, and also career goals is yes that is matching your career goals. Career goals is your targets, your aspirations, and the kind of professional life that you want to have. So when you're matching these career goals with your abilities or your capabilities or your interests, that is you doing a career planning, so that you and also there are going to be opportunities. You look around you, the opportunities you have, as in that are available. That is career planning. And also you can also say career planning is a continual process of managing your training, your learning, and your work progress through life. You don't just leave it as in just leave it the way it comes and just go through it. It is important that you have a plan on ground, so that it will that would take me to the importance now of career planning. So like career planning is the continual process of managing your training, because we're going to be talking about as in where you're training, because if you want to plan your career, there's some knowledge that you need to get. So you managing your training and your work progress through life, that is career planning. And also you gaining skills, acquiring skills, knowledge, making a plan so that you can make informed decisions about your training, about your work progress. And also career planning is something that is continuous. It is important that we take note of that. It's something that is continuous. And the importance of career planning, I would say, the importance is that it helps you to stay focused and motivated. For you to stay focused and motivated, that is why you need to plan your career. And also it helps you to decide what you want in your career, and also helps you to make well-informed decisions about your career moves. You know when to change. Probably you have plans to not be in a particular industry more than 10 years. You understand, through your career planning, you know when to start planning to move, or you start preparing yourself, taking the necessary training, maybe having a mentor, whatever it is that you want to plan. So this is what it helps you to do. It helps you to stay focused. It helps you to get motivated. You are motivated. You're not just moving by the tide. You understand? You are focused. You are motivated. You know the next step to take, and it helps you to take well-informed decisions about your career move. So that's the important. And I hope I've answered the question.
Yes, you have indeed. And what really resonated with me in all of the things you said is that matching your interests to the opportunities available to help you determine what the way forward is in terms of your career. And I wanted to follow up with the next question being, when and where does that career planning needs to start?
Okay. Where and when? I would say, as when we are talking about when now, I won't say there is a particular age that, yes, at this age you should know, start your career planning. But I think ideally you should, by high school, you will have an idea. By this time, you already know your interest at this time. You already know your interest, you know what naturally just lights you up. You know something that you're passionate about, at least by high school. You're no longer a child that, yes, today, when a little child will just say, okay, today I want to be a nurse, I want to be a lawyer. But by the time you're in high school, let's say by the 15, 16, you have an idea of your interests, you know your strengths. You start, it might not be well formed, you know, but you have an idea at this point. So I think at this point, you should start thinking of where do I want to focus on, as in the kind, which career do I want to pick up, which industry do I want to go into. So I would say from high school, and at that time, I think you start deciding, you know, sometimes people want to, they'll be like, okay, sciences, maybe business or arts, whichever one that you want to focus on, maybe your strength. But somehow at that time, the strengths are more pronounced, and you can start deciding on where to focus on by having trainings and like maybe the type of school that you want to go into. And I think from high school, from 16, I think that's a good time to start that planning. And I think I've answered the question.
Yes,
And
yes, you
yes.
have, and that has really struck me because I was thinking about all of the career fairs I have been exposed to, in my life, and a lot of them are things that have been targeted at universities in particular, and particularly at graduates, because that's where people really start to think about getting a job, getting employed post university, and all of that. But the point you've made around having that planning process start as early as high school or secondary school is a really valid one, because I don't think that's where career fairs and career visibility is focused at the moment. I know, of course, from what I've heard, not experienced personally, because that's not where my career planning journey started, is people would get that choice, as you said, of whether they want to be focused in sciences or the arts or business, and it doesn't really start to get into the specifics of what we both do now, which is working in the tech industry. And I think that's an important point to pick up on, perhaps on a separate conversation, because I just want to carry on this track and stay focused on the career planning aspect. So my next question is, in terms of shaping and planning out a career, what role does short, medium, and long-term goals play?
Okay, so yes, and I think to answer this question, I would like to first talk about what is career goals. We are talking about short, mid, and long-term goals in shaping your career plan. Career goals are targets or positions or situations that are related to your professional life that you have put in mind to achieve. Probably you want to hit a target. You are telling yourself, okay, I'm starting on this job in 5 years' time or in 10 years' time. I want to be the MD. I want to be the in charge of maybe the sales rep for Africa, for whatever. That's that's a target. That's a position that you have in mind. That's career goal. Or I say career goal is a clear statement. It has to be clear that defines your target or your professional moves that you have set in mind. That is a clear statement, something that you've written down clearly. Or so, yeah, it's important that you write down your career goals. Really, it helps you to be committed to it. So that's career goal. So, and also, now that you have a goal, then we have the short, the mid-term, and the long-term goals. So what role do they play in helping you to shape your career plan? The short-term goals will help you to be focused. That's the role. That's one of the role of short-term goals. And what is short-term goals? The short-term goal is like a building block for your long-term goal. Is the one that is what you need to do at the immediate. It highlights what you need to do now at the immediate time. The steps you need to take, maybe today, this week, or next month. That is the short-term goals. Probably you need to start a training, or probably you need to get into a particular team. What you need to do now is that your immediate, at the immediate time. These are short-term goals, and short-term goals is the building block for the ones for the long-term goals. So that's the role of short-term goal in you planning your career. It helps you to be focused. It keeps you on, as in, to check, okay, these are the things I should be doing now. It helps you to be focused. Then it helps to highlight what you need to be doing now, right now, at the immediate time. Why for midterm goals, what it will help you to do is that it it helps you to track your progress. That's the midterm goal. Yes, like I said, what you need to be doing now, that's your short-term goals. Maybe you need to start a class, you need to join a particular team, or you need to speak to your line manager that, okay, I intend to join the sales team by maybe in 4 years' time or something, or I want to be the sales manager, or whatever it is that you have discussed with your line manager, or what you just have in mind to achieve, or you have written down as your career goal. Then the midterm goal helps to help you to track your progress towards the long-term objective. They help you to evaluate how you're moving, or how fast, or are you deviating, are you on track. That is the importance, or the part, the role that the midterm goal play in planning your career. So that's what it does. It helps you it keeps you in track, to check that you're in line with your long-term goals. Why? For the long-term goal is your focus, is the main focus. Your long-term goal probably might be like something you want to achieve in 10 years or in 5 years. You understand that's your long-term goal. It's not something that will happen this year or this month. And long-term goals is the actual focus. Short-term goal helps you to keeps your eye on that long-term goal. That's the action that you need to do now for you to achieve your long-term goal. And also, the long-term goal is what you are striving to achieve. So what long-term goal does is that it helps you to gauge how far you've come. By the time you maybe you've achieved that long-term goal, then in 10 years, or probably in 10 years or 15 years or 20 years in your career, you're able to sit back and say, wow, this is how far I've come, this is what I've achieved. Then, and also it takes years of dedication, hard work, and planning. That is your ultimate destination. You can have a long-term goal of maybe 30 years, or how long you want to, as in just keep going and keep moving. So long-term goal helps to gauge how far you've come in your career. That's the role it plays in your career planning.
Yeah, I really love those analogies you've made, particularly around the short-term goals, helping you focus your efforts on what you need to do to get to your next step, and those midterm goals serving as a tracker to gauge whether you are on track or off track towards attaining your long-term goal. There was something you mentioned around the role of line managers, and I wanted you to expand a little bit more on that point, on what role line managers can play to help employees develop their career plans.
The importance of the line manager is one, line managers are people that you report to directly, or they are responsible. Maybe you're in a team. The line manager is who you report to. And I see their role in the role that they play in your career plan is one, they are people to help you develop your skill or to grow your skill, because you work with them, they know you, they will have identified your strength. And one of the things that your line manager should be able to highlight and what they should be able to do is helping you to grow your skills and your strengths through trainings and through hands-on, like delegating tasks, and also that's one of the areas areas that they come in your career planning, and also in line of mentoring you. So that's one of the parts that line managers play, mentoring you. You see them sometimes in some organizations, they even actually draw out your career track for you. Like, okay, in I expect that in 4 years' time, you should be able to handle this role. You should, they just give you yearly
Yeah, target.
plan.
Yeah.
So yes, targets. So one is they should help you grow your skill to be able to meet this target, and they're also mentoring you. Then another thing, and I think I've mentioned that one already, helping to map out your career trajectory. So that's another thing I can say. So
Yeah.
one, they help to grow your skill, mentoring, and also to plan or map out your career trajectory. And also it's important that to say that yes, yeah, their role is very important. If the sometimes you see some organizations they actually don't have this advantage of line managers helping them to do this, or maybe depending on the line manager's personality.
Mm,
And I think even if you have this option in your organization, it is important that you own your your growth, your career planning. Own it, yes. What in my organization, that's when I was with Alcatel, they speak with you. They call you in every year. You discuss your targets, your career plan. You discuss it, and the next year they're asking you, were you able to achieve this? You
yeah.
understand? Yes. So that's one of that is to me that's they helping you to grow your skills and holding you accountable. You should, as in that I have planned this. Am I able to achieve this?
Yeah.
So that's what that and that's mentoring. So
Yeah.
that's what I so that's what I have to say.
Thank you. So those are really excellent points, Desola, because one of the things, we've both experienced and benefited from as being part of the telecommunications industry is that these organizations like Alcatel, Ericsson, they are very mature. And along with that maturity comes very detailed definition of job descriptions, certification programs on what track you can follow to get to the very very top, either as a technical person or project manager, or maybe as someone working in the sales or business aspects of the business. So those structures are there to help people make that decision. But I think you also made a very good point about individuals, and I wanted to flag, because my question I had on that point before you covered it was the importance um, of women in particular taking ownership of their development. And you covered that beautifully, because irrespective of whatever companies or line managers do for you to help you get visibility on what's available, the responsibility still remains with the individual to take ownership and to make sure they're working on the actions that helps them accomplish their goals. So that was a very good point. And thank you for covering it even before I asked the question. We'll move on to the next question. So we were talking previously around the role line managers can play in helping employees develop their career plans, and was also discussing the importance of women in particular taking ownership of their career planning. And I wanted to ask the next question in terms of understanding the requirements of a career plan and how important that is to accelerate your growth. Because as we discussed in the beginning, you may have plans that are long term and maybe things you want to do in 10 years, but is understanding the requirements of what you need in your future role a potential way to accelerate that growth and development plan?
Sorry, I didn't get the question very well.
Okay, no, I'll repeat again, no worries. So is understanding the requirements of a future role a good way to accelerate a career plan?
Yes, it is. Yes. It's when you know the requirements of your your career, as in maybe what you want to, as in what you want to be or where you want to be in the future. When you know the requirements, you are able to prepare ahead of time and on time. So you won't be wasting time in making progress in your career. So it's it's a way to accelerate your career growth and plan. I don't know if I answered the question.
You did
Very well.
actually, and I was in particular thinking about what we discussed in the beginning, which is matching skills to requirements. So, of course, if you understand what's required, then you know the skills you need to develop to achieve that goal, right? So that's a good thing. And another thing I wanted to ask was in terms of the trajectory and earning potential of a career, because I know when we had our discussion earlier in the week, we were talking about your interest and how you insisted on following your passion to work in the telecommunications industry when there were potentially other opportunities in banking that some of our colleagues had taken as an alternative career, and this was mainly driven by the attractive income in the banking industry. So I just want you to touch on that, choosing and how the financial challenges and how you saw that play out really in terms of understanding where you were coming into the industry at, of course, as a starter in the telecommunications industry, and how that was going to impact your earning potential going forward.
Yeah, like I mentioned when we discussed, I said at that time, no, for a starter in the banking industry and for a starter in the tech industry, there was in Nigeria then the disparity was, as in the starter take home was large, and it was very enticing for me at that time, but because I knew where I wanted to be, I knew, as in my interests, my focus, that okay, this is where I want to be. And like I mentioned then, at immediate, I just said no, I don't want to be in the bank. But after like 6 months of just struggling in the tech, and I started considering that, okay, should I change my mind? But really, because I had a plan, that helps me to be focused and not to deviate. Because, okay, what I was supposed to be doing at that first year was to get certification, get trainings, at least to increase my earning potential. And that was what I did. Within the first 1 year of working in the tech, I was able to get the first certification, and that helped to as in just within 1 year, I was able to go as in to be earning at least what I thought, oh, these people are enjoying, you understand?
Yeah.
And one of the things to do is one, when you are planning your career, it's good to do a research. As in, you can get informations online, you can get information from people who can be mentors who are already in the industry. You can ask them questions. You can even just observe them, you understand, or directly ask them questions, and definitely they will advise you. And yes, even at that time, I might see banking as, oh, it was booming at that time. They were being paid well. Even those that even served with them, they were being paid very well. You understand? But somehow I know that in tech, there's money in technology as well. You just have to prepare yourself. You just have to be ready to add skills. You understand? And adding skill in technology is something you have to be doing continuously. You have to be committed and dedicated to upskill yourself continuously, so that you will be at you will have this very competitive skills that you are able to offer. And that's one thing that I think is important, that yes, Earning potential and career trajectory. Yes. One of the key importance of career planning is that it ensures that you have financial stability and job safety, because that's why you're actually doing your career planning. That yes, I want to be in that area. Where is this career path? Is it safe? Is it that is a place that in the future? There are sometimes people do research. You go online, they are telling you that data, machine learning, the data science is the next big thing. No, they are telling you all this information based on what is happening right now. And that's when you get all this information, you start looking at it that, okay, do I have interest? Where can I function? Where can I launch into? What can I start doing now? Which training do I need to start doing? You understand? If you've gone far, so just start looking at, okay, where can I be relevant in that in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years?
Yes.
So it's very important that's one of the career planning is a very something that, yes, if you really want to do well and grow well in your career, and you don't have to you don't want regrets, really.
Yeah.
It's something that you just have to have in hand, that you're working with and is guiding you through your career journey.
That's excellent, Adesola. And one of the crucial points you made back there is talking about the certifications and training and continuous development needed. And it's made me prompt to ask the question, which is, what role does formal university education now play in career planning? Because we both have the background where we studied physics to begin with, and now we've done different postgraduate degrees and training. But at that entry point of our careers, for myself and certainly for you, we had to step into doing other kind of CCNA certification to get that first step on the ladder. And of course, as we've progressed through different roles, I mean, you've done things in BSS, radio network optimization performance. I imagine you've had to do various additional training and certification to build those skills. So my question is, given that we know there are very specific and niche skills people would need to start off developing and continue developing through their careers, what is now the relevance of a university education?
So the role of education in career planning is that you need to get to know what you want to get into. Really, you want to get a deeper understanding of what you will be doing in your career. I think you can get that from the school, from the tertiary institutions, because they are going to arm you with in-depth knowledge of what you're going to be doing. I know, yes, on the job, you get the hands-on. You are told, okay, do this, do that. You are able to get the experience, maybe the on-the-job experience. Okay, when you do this, this is the outcome that you're going to get. But one of the things that you get from the school is that, one, you're going to me, I see that you're going to go deeper into whatever field that you want to get into. And also, I think I would say the social, will I say, you're able to build some social relationship in the schools, that yes, this is my colleague. And I think that's one of the things that's on that platform that I got to know you, you understand, and that we are doing this today. That, okay, yeah. I got to know Lydia when we we're in the university. You understand? That's, to me, I think it's very important as well, that you're able to have this social link. And when you go through school, you have a relationship with your professors, with your lecturers, or with your students, students as well. And to me, I think that is one of the key things that you get in the school. And like I said, to me, the because some people want to go into research, and I think for you to get all this knowledge on how to, like I said in-depth knowledge, research, you get all of this from the school. Because there are times that, okay, some people actually went into school to just get an education, and they discover that that's their interest. I just want to do research. I just want to help, as in, I don't want to like do the application that maybe, yes, you are doing the application in the telecommunication industry, but yes, I want to do the research on how to actually discover, okay, how is this working? That's the in-depth knowledge. And people go into university and they just want to stay there. They just want to do the research. Why some, yes, they're able to get the in-depth knowledge, but they want to come and apply it and maybe create things, make life easier. So I think the place of education is, to me, one, the in-depth knowledge, and two, the social link and relationship that you're able to establish going through that process of training and getting skill.
Thank you, Adesola. That's a very excellent note to close on. So, what would you say is the most important aspect of career planning to finish?
The most important
aspects of career planning.
The most important aspects of career planning is one, getting to know yourself, getting to know yourself, getting to know your strengths and your interests. That's the most important, because that's, to me, the foundation of the career planning. You need to discover your, as in what you want to do. You know what excites you. What motivates you now? Say no. What excites you? What you're interested in. That's the first thing, that when you know this, it makes things easier for you when you are planning. You know, like what the definition I gave at the beginning, I said, you matching your individual capabilities, your individual interests, your individual strengths with your career goals, and also with the opportunities that are available. So the first thing is you getting to know your interests and your strengths. Then the next one is looking around you. Where can this be applied? You understand? Is it in the banking industry? Will I do well in the telecom industry? Or I just go into research? Or I will do well in project management? You know, project management is large. You can do project management almost everywhere in all industry. Yes, some people, that is what they are good at, as in meeting targets, excellent organization, and just making things work. That's their strength, you understand? So one thing I think the way you start from is knowing your strengths, knowing your interests. Yes, that's what I would say.
Thank you so much. And that resonates with me, and I'm sure will resonate with a lot of our listeners. And those were just really excellent points you've made on career planning. I just want to say thank you for sharing your time, joining us all the way from Nigeria. I know you're busy with the family on top of your working day as well. So I really appreciate you taking the time to share your knowledge and experience on career planning with us here at Sheleads.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Okay.